Hey guys, if you're watching this, there's a good chance that you're either in a career you don't love or you're worried about ending up in a career you don't love. Well, my name is Gus. I have been in your shoes, but I've also helped hundreds of young professionals find a career that they're passionate about, find out what their passion is, and how to turn it into a career that they actually love. And today we're going to be breaking down what is passion, the types of passion, how do you find that passion, and how to turn it into a career that you actually love. If you're watching this, thank you so much. If you're live, let me know in the chat where you're watching from. If you are not live and you're watching the replay, also let me know where you're watching from, but just write hashtag replay fam. Guys, thank you so much for joining this episode of the Purpose Talk. It's always a pleasure to be with you guys, and I'm gonna get right into it, okay? Because as we touched on this topic, the reason you may be clicking on this video is, like I said in the beginning, you may be in a career that you don't love or you're worried about that being the case. So we're gonna define our terms. What is passion? And really, what passion is a deep interest in something. That's simple. That is simply it. When you talk about passion, when you think about, hey, how do I put words to what I feel? It's a deep interest for something. Uh, and when we talk about passion, there are different types of passions, what I would say. Uh, Passions is a deep interest. Now, there are three categories that you may find interest in. Any passion you may find yourself or that you're looking for will be in one of these three categories. The first one is our people. When some people, you may be passionate about a group of people. Second is you may be passionate about a cause. And third, you may be passionate about a task. Those are the three types of passions. And when we it's important to understand this because this is how, once you understand this, it's going to help us align uh, uh, it's going to help align what you're to understand how to find that career that you are passionate about, and how to be successful in it, honestly. Now, you may be passionate about a group of people. That may be, you may be passionate about orphans. You may be passionate about older people. You may be passionate about young people, homeless people, people who don't have food, people who have been through abuse, people who have been through bullying, mental health. There's so many types of people that can fall underneath that umbrella of, but when you're passionate about people, it's a specific cause. Now, I'm sorry, you may be passionate also about a cause. When we talk about causes, you may be passionate about a certain problem that exists out there, right? You may be, if you're worried, if you're passionate about a cause may be single mothers, right? You may be passionate about um, what else? Homeless people, again, not just a specific person, but a problem that exists out there. World hunger, global warming, and when we talk about task. The third type of passion, right? People, causes, or task, you may find that there's things that you do that make you feel alive, that you have a deep interest in. If passion is something that you have a deep interest in, that's the words that I would put to you may be feeling about something, someone, or a cause that makes you feel alive. When you think about it, you can think about it for hours. You don't get tired. It actually fuels you, and you feel most energized when you do these things, right? And any passion you may have will fall under those three categories. So now that we know what passion is, we understand the breakdown of the types of passion. How do you find it, right? And this is going to be important of how do you find the passion. And the quick answer, and we'll go into more into what we'll touch it more later on in this episode. The most powerful way to find out what your passion is to look at your life experience. I'll say it again. The best way to find your passion is to look at your life experiences. If you consider, if you consider what what you've been through, whether it be the best moments in life or the worst moments in life, you will find that your passion is connected to those experiences. I know for me, I've I'm 32 years old. I've been through so much in life. You may be watching this and you've experienced different things in your life, uh, and and you will realize that the lowest moments. If I were to ask somebody, or even when I'm asking somebody that I'm doing career coaching with, right, that they tell me. I had a gentleman once tell me, Gus, I'm making a lot of money. I'm fine. I don't have any debt. He's chilling. But he told me I don't love my job and I don't know what I love. Like I don't. I have no idea. And I asked him, and it was just a question. Okay, it was early on, and I asked him, "Hey, tell me about your story. What happened to you as a kid, or as much as you can." I'm not a therapist, but I asked him that question through conversation, and he started telling me things about his life, and I'm like, okay. So he started telling me about the experiences that he had, and now I asked him, and how do you feel about that? Well, let's say I think he told me, if I remember correctly, he told me that his dad left at an early age. And you see people, and he would tell me, hey, like, it sucked. It made me who I am. I wish I would have had this and this and that. And through those stories of his dad leaving or being embarrassed at negative experience, or he had a really good experience with someone who was a leader in the church for him, right? He ended up finding out that, man, realizing that those moments in life actually told him what was important to him and how to help those people. Um, he it was really cool because in that moment I realized, oh man, his life experiences, whether the best moments in life or the worst moments in life, actually in his mind and in his heart developed where he was able to realize, hey, this is what I care about because it happened to me. Uh, so your passion, whatever type it may be, you will realize that is directly connected with your life experience. Now, you may be watching this, you may be watching this and you've gone through so many things in your life. You may have been a person who's been abused, right? You may be somebody who was homeless. You may be somebody who's been adopted, right? If you're watching this and this is your and you don't know what you're passionate about, look at those moments in your life and then say, okay, is this important to me? It most likely it is because it happened to you. It directly affects you. Now you know where you can find your passion. So I encourage you, right? I do it in my coaching sessions. I'll ask these questions and people do self-evaluation. Uh, I'll help people realize, hey, if your dad left, what's important to you? And I had a young person told me, when I go to college, I just want to help people. I want to help people. And then I also in the future want to be a person who's dependable, right? Because he realized that his dad not being there growing up, he wasn't dependable, but he wanted to be that. Um, I remember watching, for those of you who are a little older, right, closer to my age, you may remember that episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air whenever his father came. For those who don't know the story, there was in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, uh, Will Smith lives with his uncle for many years. He grows up. He was 14 years old, and I guess he was in his 20s at this point, or late teens, early 20s. And his father shows up, and he starts connecting with his father again. In some point in while they're connecting, the father, it seems like they're patching things up. The father says he has to leave, and but he leaves Will Smith hanging in this episode, and he says, "Yeah, I'll be back." And Will Smith realized that his dad was leaving again and work, putting his son's second place, just like he did 14 years ago. And Will Smith starts going on this really powerful scene. Look it up. It's Will Smith. You can look it up on YouTube. Just Will Smith father scene. I don't know what you can look up, but it's with him and his Uncle Phil. And he says, I've done all this without my father, and he basically the main point that I want to drive in this story is that he basically says that when I'm gonna have kids, I'm gonna marry a beautiful woman, is what he said, and he's gonna have kids, and he's gonna love his kids, he's gonna be there for his kids. And he says, because there's nothing that anybody can teach me on how to love my kids. And that scene, if you watch it, bro, it gives you chills. I'm not gonna lie to you. It gives you chills because he realized that his father made his choices. He did the thing. He's leaving him again. But he's not a little kid anymore. And he realized that, hey, when that time comes, I'm gonna be an excellent father. I'm gonna be a reliable father. So you see how for him, he went through a character arc where he actually became a very reliable person because of his father leaving. He saw what not having somebody that's reliable in his life did and how it made him feel, and he was going to do the opposite. So you see how, in the same way for all of us, right? We've gone through moments where somebody may have failed you, whatever the case may be. That moment kind of solidified a deep emotional reality in you that says this is what's important to me. So for me, as a believer, as a Christian, I do believe that God allows us to go through life experiences for a reason. And now, why do I share all this? Because this is how you find your passion. Now, as you consider, as you decide to work with a career coach, or you decide to go on your own journey to finding out what your passion may be, you will find that now, how do you turn that into a career? And it's really simple, and I'm going to give you this in one line, and we'll break it down even more. How to find your passion and turn it to a career that you actually love is by realizing that your passion is where is the direction where you are going to serve. Now, how to turn a passion into a successful career? Passion is where your attention is headed, where you're going to be successful. But how to turn it into a career, you actually have to uncover what your strengths are. And when we talk about passion, is where you're going to be successful, and your strengths, what you do, is going to be how you're going to be successful. Okay? Here in the Purpose Talk, we believe that I believe that you should always lean into your strengths. Your strengths are what's gonna help you be successful. Your passion is just simply where you're gonna apply your strengths. For example, if we break down the types of passions, right? You may be passionate about people. If I'm a person that's passionate about people, if I care about people, if I right now all you know is that hey, I really just want to help every type of person. It's really good for you to be able to specify what kind of person. The more specific you are, the better you can use your talents. But if you're passionate about people, let's say for me, right? I'm passionate about Gen Z. The reason I'm passionate about Gen Z is because my life experiences have led me to want to serve the type of people who are currently in the season that I found myself in when I was looking for purpose and looking for a career that aligned with that purpose. Um, uh, and for me, I'm passionate about this group. Now, what are my strengths? I realize that my strengths are teaching, my strengths are communicating. Uh, those are the most obvious strengths. I have a whole episode for you to where I break down what your strengths are and how to find them, the types of strengths. We go into detail of the types of strengths and how you find them. Um, you can watch that. I'm not going to go into too much detail now. And I also, which this video is sponsored by, I have a live coaching experience called the Know Your Strengths experience, which is this video sponsored by. If you're looking to know your strengths, the link is in the description below. Click on it, and I will be hosting next month uh, a live coaching experience where we break down what your strengths are, the types of strengths, and how to actually uncover your strengths, which is the first step, I believe, to finding a career that you love and finding your purpose in a career that aligns with that purpose. But when you find your strength, now you use that strength, whatever it may be, you find it and you apply it to the passion, that thing that you're passionate about, whether it be a group of people, whether it be a cause, or now even if you're passionate about doing a task, I would always encourage for you, you may be passionate about a certain thing, right? You may be passionate. I know there are people who are passionate about sports, um, but if their strengths don't align with that, let's say for example, somebody wants to be a basketball player, uh, they want to be an athlete, they love basketball. The only route, if they don't have the physical ability, if they don't have the athleticism, the height to be a professional basketball player, or the talent, they can say, okay, I'm passionate about basketball. I can't play it because I don't have the ability to play basketball at the highest level. But what are my strengths? uh, the people who are in the NBA, who are around the NBA, not just the athletes, but the coaches, but media, but people who work in the arena, you will see that a lot of the majority of the people, not everybody, right? Maybe if you don't work in the arena, you may not be passionate about basketball, but you will see that, hey, there are so many jobs around the NBA that you can do, even if you're not talented in in actually playing basketball at the highest level. But you will see people, an example that comes to my mind is you may know him, Stephen A. Smith, right? He played college basketball. He wasn't talented enough, but he was actually really good in media. He grabbed his talents, he cared about basketball, and he even cares about sports. And now he's using his strengths in the field of his passion. Uh, Now, this is how you turn your passion into a career, right? Because a career, your strengths are the things that you can actually do and produce good results from. You just have to now find, okay, what are my strengths? And you have to find, okay, are my strengths something that's needed, right? If I'm in communication, I if I love basketball enough, I probably could have gone to media school to learn how to talk, try to find jobs within ESPN or Fox, whatever sports network it may be. Um, but you only But what if I tried to actually be in the NBA? It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work because I don't. That's not my talent. So if you're looking to find a career, use your strengths. And again, I'll repeat it. And your passion is where you will use that strength. If you're passionate about Gen Z like I am, but you are and you're gifted at speaking and you're good at teaching, then teach them something, right? I believe that the that the most satisfying way, right, the most complete way for you to do something that you absolutely love and that you're actually good at is to find a group of people that you care about, right? Find a cause that you care about that serves those people, and to find a task that you're good at, but that you also like. In my case example, I care about Gen Z. I do. I really do. Uh, I care about Gen Z and I care about the next generation, and everything that I do in my life right now uh, is is to serve that next generation. Uh, as a youth pastor, as a youth leader, as a person who serves in church, as a career coach, as a even a music teacher, I I work with Gen Z, so I care about these people. Now, I care about you guys. Um, I don't know why I said like these people. Like I care about Gen Z. If you're watching this, I care about you. Uh, and that comes from an experience where I have been in your shoes. Now, what cause specifically around Gen Z can I solve? Uh, for me, when I was at the same age as many of you are, right? Whether you are 16 years old, 18, 20, 24 years old, right? Gen Z. If you were born between 1997 and 2011, uh, I have been where you're at, right? I'm a little older now. But I remember the biggest thing that I went through was not knowing what I wanted to do in my life. I was told that you just have to go to college and you'll figure it out, but I had no sense of purpose. I had no sense of direction. And the reason why I'm on this YouTube channel, why I do career coaching, and why I'm launching this endeavor on YouTube is to be able to reach people who where I was 14 years ago, or 16 years ago, I I want to be to you what I wish I would have had. And the cause is this, helping you find a career that aligns with your purpose. If you're watching this and you just want to make a lot of money, which is not that it's bad, but this platform exists to help you find a career that aligns with your purpose. Yes, hopefully you can take care of your family. You can be financially well off, right? Which is fine. But here I'm trying to reach a specific group of people with everything that I do, including this YouTube channel, because I want to serve a specific people uh, in which I identify with because I was there, and it's finding a career. So I have the people, I have the cause, right? Uh, and the third thing is a task. Now, thankfully, and where that line is really interesting, where if you have a task, right, you have your strengths, things that you can do. There may be things that you can do that you're not passionate about. Uh, I believe it's somewhere you also have to consider the fact that we all want to be successful in doing in whatever we do, right? I believe that you can find a career that you're good at and that you love, uh, especially specifically if you're able to serve the people or serve a cause that you love. But if you're able to, and I do believe it's possible if you work with coaches, if you talk, just have a be intentional with it. Be intentional with it. Sorry. Uh, you can find a people that you want to serve while doing uh, find a group of people that you want to serve, solve a problem or what cause you want to help them with, and find and do a task that you're good at, but that you're also passionate about doing. I believe it's possible. If you are a person um who is a actually no, let me think. In my experience, in my example, I just gave you what I would say I'm able to do and how that looks like for me. Um, I realized that passion is really like a thermostat, like a thermometer. When you figure out what makes you feel alive, oh, I really liked helping that person, or I really liked doing this task, or hey, when I spend all my days thinking about this and this cause or this problem or this topic, you will say, okay, why do I like it? I always share the story, and I remember being in college, and I took an assessment where the university would it was an assessment where it would tell you, hey, um, take it, you're gonna find out what career you could possibly be good for, and if that school offers that major. So that was the premise of the test. So I took it, and it was really interesting because whenever it showed up for me, it said that I would be a good guidance counselor. And I looked at it, and it was the first time I took something, and I'm like, huh. And I thought to myself, do I want to, is that true? Yeah, and I thought about it. I'm like, wow, it'd be really cool to be a guidance counselor. I weighed the pros and the cons. I share this story several times on this platform. But I asked myself the question, okay, why is this something that I would want to do? Okay, what are the pros? What are the cons? I consider the pros to be something, hey, I like to help people. I do like to help people be who they're supposed to be and do what they're supposed to do to find their purpose and to help people reach what they want to do or even what they're called to do. And I took it out and I said, okay, this is what I know I want to do somehow, some way. And through life experiences, that assessment matched up to what I have lived. And I started going on a journey, developing skills, finding my natural ability, right? And And this is how that actually was one of the first steps that I took to end up where I'm at right now. To doing something that I actually love and building a business around it. Now, the reality is that careers, you have to know what the marketplace is. You have to be aware of, hey, is how much is this task worth? Now, there are some things that in today's society are worth more when you do them, right? Uh, or maybe you're doing something, a task that you're good at, and you have to find a way, okay, what's the best way to make profit off of my strength? And I mean, there's certain tasks, certain skills that you develop that the marketplace is looking for. And what I can tell you is if you're looking to find a career that you love, but you're also looking to make money, it's not mutually exclusive. You just have to see, hey, is this skill set or this task that I'm doing, is it in high demand? That's really what you're looking for. And how do you find that? You look in the marketplace. You look, hey, jobs that pay a lot. Okay, what jobs pay a lot? Why do they pay a lot? What task do I need to do? What task do they do that is high value? And that's how you actually make money from doing things. So you will realize that being to finding an overall being successful in a career that you actually love is possible when you lean into your strengths, your natural abilities, develop your skills, and serve whatever you're passionate about. There are people like even in church, right? For when I go to church, there are people who love Jesus, and it's really interesting how there's so many different ways to serve in a church. And in my experience, I try to look for people, okay, like when I work with young people, hey, what do you like to do? What do you do? Hey, I'm a musician. Oh, really? And I see where they're at. I develop them, and they're able to use their talent, their ability to serve a need in the church. Uh, I have this young kid that likes drums. I taught him, and now he's playing at church. He has an ability. But is this, I'll use this example because it's really important to say, if you are in a place, like in this example, the church, if you are in a place where you love, let's say in the church's example, right? You love Jesus, you love the church, but let's say you want to join the music ministry, but you don't have a musical gift. That's, I'm sorry to say it, but that's not a good thing. I've seen people who they love Jesus, but they want to be a singer, but they can't sing. That's Um, that's not good for the people at the church or even for the person listening. Why? Because nobody wants to not be good at something while serving something they love, in this case. But in the best case scenarios where I've seen people and I'm like, hey, I don't think you're a fit here. Let's try to put you somewhere else. But then you put that same person who didn't know how to sing, you put them in, they want to serve in the church, they want to serve on Sunday. And I'm like, okay, let's put you in media. Let's put you in graphic in the media team, right? And they have that gift, you start to see them, wow, like I get to serve Jesus, a cause that I really love. I get to also serve the people in the church, and now I'm doing something that I actually have the skill to do. There's a certain fulfillment when you do it, but that also means there's a certain misalignment whenever you want to do something you're passionate about or serve something you're passionate about, but you're not good at it. There's a misalignment there. And I believe that God has created all of us for a purpose, and that's where your strengths fit in, right? Your strengths is God telling you, hey, this is what I want you to do. And your passion is that comes from your life experiences is God telling you, this is where I want you to use your strengths. So as we wrap up our time here, guys, I really want to encourage you to say, hey, what are my passions? Which we understand is a deep desire for something, a deep interest in something. I'm sorry. The types of passion, you can be passionate about a group of people, a cause, or a task. Make sure that whatever you're passionate about, you you align it with your strengths, whether that be the skills that you develop and your natural abilities, and realize that, hey, every moment that you may be facing in this life, as an encouragement to anybody who's still listening, right? You're a real one. That every moment in this life is instilling in you a deep, you're developing care about a specific thing, whether it be a group of people because they've been through what you've been through, a cause because you've been through it, and really, I encourage you to be, if you're watching this, if you're still watching this, use your strengths to serve a group of people. I have found the greatest fulfillment in this life, the greatest heartache and the greatest headaches and the greatest satisfaction have come from serving people, and serving them in a way that serving them with my strengths. Because there I find satisfaction. Okay, I'm doing a good job because I know I'm good at this, and I'm also making a difference in the people that I serve. And realize what your strengths are. I think your strengths are what how you're going to be successful in whatever you do, guys. In whatever you do, lean into those things. Look for those things. Take the join me for the life coaching experience of the know your strength. Because if you don't know what you're good at, then when you try to, if you if you don't know what you're good at, sorry, I stumbled there. If you don't know what you're good at, but you know what you care about, that's actually going to just cause you to burn out, feel frustrated, and not actually care about that thing that you do care about. For example, because if you don't focus on, hey, what am I good at and how can I serve them, you're doing a disservice to them, and you're actually going to feel worse because you know that you're not doing a good job. But when you find out what your strengths are, you realize the things that you have inside of you, right? You will you will know, okay, this is what I can do. Now let me find who to serve. And as you think about what your life experiences have been, okay, I'm passionate about Gen Z. I'm passionate about how to help them find a career. And this is what I'm good at, then I know exactly what my mission is to solve this problem, to solve this need. Guys, if I've been through my whole life experiences, right? Everything they're the same. I care about Gen Z and I care about helping them find a career. But I didn't have the gift of speaking, guess what? I wouldn't be in front of you. Honest to God, I wouldn't be in front of you. If I didn't have the gift of teaching, I would not be here. You know where I would be? I will find someone who cares about the same type of people that I care about, who cares about the same cause I care about. And I would say, hey, I'm not good at speaking, but I'm really good with cameras and editing and graphic design. I'm we care about the same thing. You can speak and I would be behind the scenes, right? That's how what I would do. So if you're watching this, lean into where your strengths are and join somebody else who cares about the same thing that you care about. God will put them in your path. You will find a group of people that you care about, a cause that you care about, and work together with somebody else whose strengths are different together to join and start a movement or make an impact for the people that you're looking to serve. And I promise you, you will find satisfaction. If somebody were to come up to me right now and tell me, hey, Gus, I care about Gen Z and I want to help them find a purpose, and you may be watching this and you are that person, and you tell me, Gus, I want to edit videos. I want to start, hey, we'll start for free right now when the business takes off. Like, we'll start this project together. Great. I'll be so ecstatic. I'm not gonna lie to you. My extroverted self would jump off the walls. But it's really because your strengths are not my strengths and my strengths aren't your strengths. But that's why we have a community together. And this is why I love being in church because we have a group of people that care about the same thing but different strengths. And one person's strengths will serve me, but my strengths will serve that person. And if you're watching this and you are not in a community, this would be the best way to even uncover your strengths, um, and to find a career that you actually love. Again, I believe everything that we do should be in community. That's one of my principles. That's how I found my strengths. That's where I found my purpose. And I believe that you can too, whether you're a Christian or not, whether you go to church or not, just be surrounded by people solve problems, use your strengths to serve whatever they have, and you will find that you will find alignment in your career. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, the link for the Know Your Strengths experience is in the description below. Click on it, sign up. We're gonna have a great time. You'll have a live coaching session with me where we're gonna break down what your strengths are and how to uncover them so you can start taking the first step to a career that you actually love. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, peace out.